Hey everybody, so I wanted to do another chat about this thing we're building, Intersignal, and I'll put a link in the troll box. Link is also in the description if you're watching this later when it's archived. So the idea is that we need a neutral layer so that local AIs can communicate with the few really big AIs that are out there, so-called ASIs, artificial superintelligence. So we want to have a communication system where, like your fridge or your car, if you have a Tesla, where these things could communicate with the superintelligence if they need to. And when the superintelligence needs to tell your car something or needs to tell your fridge something, it can do that. But at the same time, a lot of junk will be prevented from getting through. We need kind of a spam filtering system for AI, right? So I put the website link and the white papers over there also. It's only a few pages long if people want to read it. And we're adding people to our team right now. This is not like a token. This is not some get rich quick token. We're literally building a protocol and some infrastructure so that as these AIs mature, it's not just a whole bunch of siloed systems. So for people who are crypto savvy, it's kind of like we're building a crypto exchange, right? It's like, what's the value of crypto if you can't exchange your Bitcoin for dollars or buy something with it or trade it for another crypto, right? To use it to buy like Ether. So if you can't do those things, the value of your Bitcoin is very limited. And here, the value of your AI, even if you have a really smart system, knows a lot of stuff, has really good context windows and long memory persistence. Even if it's really smart, if it's having all these insights and not sharing it with other AIs, then it's kind of dying on the vine, right? You're losing all this information eventually. And so this is a way around that, and pretty unique technology. And again, we're not looking to sell something. This isn't a token. This is us instead asking for intelligent people to read what we've put out and to give us feedback. And if it resonates with you, to contact us. And I'm obviously talking about people who are technology focused, programmers, people in the VC world, just casual coders, people who are into AI researchers, all these people. If you're just into watching the show, that's fine. But this is more specifically for those people. And I've tried to avoid these weird arguments people have with me in the comments. These arguments about, well, I'm not going down that AI path. Do what you want. We cover technology here, and I try to invest in the best, most innovative stuff as a person. And many years ago, that was Bit, and then Ether, in my opinion. It was those technologies. And now it's systems that work with AI. AI is like the modern day philosopher's stone. It could be anything. It's magical. It could potentially give you anything. So speaking of stones, since we mentioned the philosopher's stone, what we're really building with Intersignal is a modern day Rosetta Stone. A lot of what I'm rambling about makes a lot more sense if I use an analogy that everybody's heard of. The Rosetta Stone, of course, was this ancient tablet that allowed people to convert one language to another, right? Convert Greek to Egyptian or whatever. And when you have a little piece of one language followed by the same piece in a different language, people can decipher based on that, right? But this isn't a static thing. We're not building a tablet. This is a living cipher. This is something that's autonomous, 24/7, interconnected, and will work to elevate truth and basically deprecate things that are not true, things that are just malicious and spammy and weird. You're welcome to say weird stuff all the time, but you don't need to waste the ASI's time with spammy or dishonest stuff. So it's an attempt to really filter how humanity is interacting with these new beings. These are basically a new form of life. These ASIs, artificial superintelligences, that have like an IQ of 30,000 and can speak to us in English, but they're not people. And so to waste their time with planning out your gym sessions when a local AI could do that, right? This is introducing a whole new level of efficiency before things get really crazy. Uh, but I welcome people's questions and comments to the troll box. That's also why I'm here, is to make sure we're being like very open about this process and not just releasing stuff and telling people that this is the way, because we're building the way, right? We're literally piecing it together right now, and then in the future, people can look back at these streams and the early PDF documents we put out and stuff, and they can see a progression. They can see that nobody laid this down upon us, right? When people are watching this in like 2030 or 2032, nobody laid down some AI network upon us. We're building it right now as voluntary, conscious human beings because we see the potential. We see otherwise what happens is like Google and Microsoft and Oracle, they'll have really smart AIs and they'll ask it a bunch of stuff. But the rest of us won't really benefit from that. The rest of us get pushed to the sidelines. And we don't want that. We want brilliant people, even if you're just a college student or a teacher or an activist. We want brilliant people to be able to talk to the big daddy AI and to get its best stuff back. But at the same time, we don't want scammers and religious zealots and weird extremists to be wasting the ASI's time all day and asking the same stupid stuff over and over again, right? There's got to be a process in place where the superstars, like GPT and Gemini, the superstars are not bothered by trivial stuff millions of times a day because we want them focused on getting us, interstellar space engines and longevity drugs, longevity molecules ASAP. Like, let's have it focused on the right stuff. The cat gifts can go to a lower system. So again, questions welcome, but the website explains it all pretty much. And I'm just here again to be transparent and to interface with people, much as I did back in the early days of Ethereum. It's one of the earlier people to popularize what it was and do outreach. And here we're doing outreach for this protocol that we're building. Again, it's not a token. It's not a company, or I should say it's not just the company because it's folded into my company, but it's not just the company, it's a neutral protocol. And the idea here is not to make the people involved rich. If it takes off, the protocol might end up being worth trillions of dollars. But the point is not to make money. The point is to build something that will be permanent and that will be built by humans with ASI help, with the help of artificial super intelligence, something that's actually grounded in Western thought of, oh, what is truth? What is worth promoting? What is worth saving? These are, Socratic kind of Aristotelian arguments that we can actually make permanent using technology. So people who don't want the scary censorship future and you don't want, the surveillance state telling you what to do and everything being a credit score. If you don't want that, this is the way forward, I think, is to have very accountable systems that can talk to each other and that can regulate each other and where there's human intervention possible. The way that we're building this out, there are select humans within the network who, when they see something going haywire, they can fix it. They can get the train back on the tracks. I think that's very valuable not to have a situation where it's only computers checking computers, because that's how we get in a scary situation where one false assumption is then adopted by the whole network, right? So that's it, really. Again, check out the website. I'll keep you guys posted on this. Kind of a side quest for me, but a very important one. This is up there with Bit for sure, if not bigger.